It's Chip Morrison from my Connect Pal account. What do I do? Roger A. the other day came up with a great question and he said, Chip, I've got 2 millennial kids. How do I reconnect better with them? Well, Roger, I'm going to give you a history lesson first, and then I'll give you 21, maybe 22 bullet points that I think can help you reconnect to those millennial kids. First, the history lesson. I have a millennial myself. I think I did all the right things. Send the kid to the right schools. Did all the proper things we as parents would normally expect to do for our kids. But I discovered when I went up to visit him years ago in Charlottesville, Virginia, with his girlfriend, I had no idea that my child was the way he was. We spent 20 minutes one evening deciding what movie we were going to watch. 30 minutes into that movie, neither his girlfriend nor him were watching the movie. He was on his smartphone. She was on her laptop. My wife and I looked at each other and looked at them, and I go, hey, what gives? Do you know what they were doing? They were communicating with each other. You would think they would just turn to the other party and say, hey, how you doing? But no, this is the millennial today. They're the most connected group in society we've ever had. So after that event, I sat down with my son and I said, son, let me ask you some questions because I thought I knew your generation. And we went through about 3 hours of question and answering, which helped me come up with some courses to teach people about millennials. Though we don't have hours and hours here on Connect Pal to be able to do that, Roger, I am going to address some things that I think would really be important for you and your millennial kids. First and foremost, hey, you're their parents. Just like in Vegas, if things are not new and fresh, they're old and dorky. Because you're their parents, yep, you're old and dorky. You're old and dorky because you're not embracing and doing the things today that they are doing. If you have a phone, why is it still a flip phone? Why is it not a technology piece like they have? They'll never watch NCIS because Jethro on there carries a flip phone. He is not embracing their technology. You need to do that. Everybody in the baby boomer generation, in one way or another, is on Facebook. We've kind of taken over Facebook, which was their baby for a long period of time. Where are they now? Where are they spending a lot of their time and energy? Instagram, Snapchat. If you don't understand these, if you're not involved in these, if you're not posting things and have accounts for these types of mediums that they're involved with, you're missing the boat. Yeah, you also need to understand that because they're most technically advanced group we've ever had in society, they were literally born with this little device in their hand. They go to bed with it. They wake up by it. They go to it every day to find things that are relevant and important to them. It is an important vehicle in peace in their daily life. You also need to understand with millennials that you have to adapt to them. They're not going to change to meet you. Though you may want to call them and shoot the weather and say, hey, how's it going? They really don't want to talk to you. What they want to do is converse and engage with you in the medium they like, which in most cases is text messaging. And because most of us baby boomers have got some sort of account on Facebook, I recommend in terms of texting, you use Messenger, which is tied into Facebook. More millennials love this. Again, it's learning to use their technology. As a parent too, you understand that these millennials are high pressure, high maintenance kids today. They're like a balloon. They are full of hot air. The slightest little thing sets them off and they can pop and go ballistic. What you have to do is maintain with your millennials the most incredible listening attitude ever. When they have an issue, Use an open-ended question and say, tell me about it. And listen. Actually listen. Let them talk. Since they love to talk about themselves, since they're such drama queens, let them. If they talk enough, they might actually look at you as parents and say, well, tell me about you. Tell me about what's going on in your life. There's a way to get reconnected. They also do what they want to do. They follow people in great numbers. Are you following them? Do you know what millennials are doing online right now? Do you know what's high and relevant in their society? You need to know, because that way you can be a part of their generation. They want you in. So get in all the way. An important thing you need to remember about millennials too is they value greatly their time. If you focus on anything other than helping them prioritize their time, you're wasting your time in the process. When you reach out to your millennial, and you reach out, like we say in text messaging, you need to look at it like you're going on Twitter. You have a limited amount of time to get an important message across. So use a limited number of words, and when they see that come across to them, they understand and they respond much better than you trying to put a long dialogue like you're sending them an email message. Are you friends not just with them on social media, but some of their friends? When you do that, they show that you're engaging yourself in their life, in their world. And it works great in terms of your millennial having a whole different look and posture of how they see you as parents. Millennials also like things that are fast, easy, and simple. If things that you're asking them to do not fall in those three categories, they will not waste the time, which is one of the reasons why most millennials won't even set up voicemail, because it takes too much time. It takes too much of their time to check voicemail to see who might have left them a crazy impersonal message. Also, since this is a group that was brought up with structure, why are you not continually giving it to them? When they do come to visit, give them structure. I expect you over here at 6 o'clock. We're going to have cocktails at 6:30. We're going to eat dinner at 7:30. Be regimental about how you are going to approach working in sync with your millennial. They love structure, so let's give it to them. Also, you need to remember that they are in a paperless society today. If you're not paying your bills online, if you're not engaging in doing as much of your business as you can online, you're not demonstrating that you're using the kinds of things that they use today. When they see you do this, again, your stock value in you as parents go way up. You also need to learn with millennials to acknowledge them for who they are. They are the greatest social and technology expert group ever. In the business world, they feel they're very undervalued and unappreciated for what they do. Recognize them as the social and technology expert. They will teach you things about technology that maybe you didn't even know about. My son the other day was sharing with my wife ideas about Instagram that we had no idea it had that certain value in how we could use it in our business world. They're willing to teach. Are you willing to learn? You also need to know that at their age, they are more into peer acceptance than parental acceptance. You could tell them, hey, whatever you do, as much as you want it, spend the time, travel, and have fun. Don't get a dog. When they get on their own, what do? They go on social media. They say, hey, we're thinking about a dog. 84% of their friends and peers say, when are you going to bring it home? Guess what? They get a dog. They don't want to see and talk to you as parents. What they want to do is communicate and engage you as parents. That's why it's really important to be involved in their social world and social media. It's also important, too, that you lead by example. They're not stupid. They can look on Facebook and see how many friends you have, or Instagram. When you have 100 friends versus 3,000 friends, that makes a big difference to them because they're seeing you do things by example of engaging people in large numbers as they do. They're also an extremely decision-based group. Millennials make decisions based upon two things that are very important to them. One, how it affects their social life, and two, how it affects their wallet. For you as parents to ask them to stretch and save money for, say, a home, like in a down payment, well, millennials do have a priority on money, but for them to save that money and for them to give up some of their social life in order to save that money, they're not going to do it. You as parents may have to write that down payment check. The other thing is also how it affects their wallet. You know, they like experiences. They do like to travel. They are a very experience-oriented group. But they're not going to stay in $200 and $300 a night motel and hotel rooms. What are they going to do? Airbnb. They're going to do the things while they watch their wallet and still give them the opportunity to experience the experiences that they want to have in life. When you send them things and you're engaging with them in social media, send them things that have tremendous, robust content. Why? Because every day when they pick up this little device, when they go to it and start scrolling through here and trying to see the significant, relevant things that are important to them, they're looking for robust content. So when you engage them on social media, make sure that you give it to them. Something that's important because they are so stressed out, since they're such drama queens about everything in their life, something you need to really do as parents is to help them laugh. Laughter takes care of a lot of things in their life. In fact, they use laughter as a way of overcoming many challenges that they face themselves. And it's one of the reasons why that when they do go out to socialize, they don't pair off and do the things that we used to do. They like going out in groups so they can cut up and have fun. So if you can figure out different ways to make your millennials laugh, wow, you're headed in the right direction. Also, you need to understand, because they grew up where everything moved away from individualism to team-oriented things, everybody seemed to get a trophy. Well, when you engage your millennial, when you're face-to-face belly with your millennial, why are you not doing team-oriented things with them as well? Why are you not playing board games and dividing up into teams, or card games, or playing badminton games outside as teams? They love this sort of thing. It helps them reconnect with things. Again, they're important to them. They also, as I said, love to focus on experiences. That's why in our market area we have a thing called Top Golf. They love Top Golf. It's one of the neatest experiences they've ever had. They love to jump out of airplanes and skydive. Why? Because it's a unique experience to them. Figure out what kind of experiences they want to have in their life and go do it with them. And the most important thing I can tell you about millennials that you have got to understand, and it's tough for you as parents, don't treat them as children. Because when you treat your kids as a child, their pop-up blockers go off, and everything that you say constantly bounces off them. If you can follow some of these steps, I guarantee you, Roger, and you subscribers out there, you'll be able to reconnect with those millennial kids in a whole lot easier and better fashion. It'll help you plug in and tune in to more success with your kids. Hey, my time's up today. Thank you yet again for yours.